Hi there, and welcome to another TechTravelGeeks video. We're continuing our S9 Plus coverage with a question. Is the S9 Plus an upgrade over S8 Plus, especially if you're a traveler? Let's see. As we discussed in the unboxing video, there's not much of a difference between the phones when it comes to the design. Size-wise, the S9 Plus is very slightly shorter due to smaller bezels, but also marginally thicker and heavier. Some of this also affected how the screen is situated, making the new phone slightly more durable. And for a phone which is mainly glass, any improvement in that area is welcome. Also, arguably, the phone is now slightly more comfortable to hold, but that's quite subjective and you're unlikely to notice unless you hold both phones one after another. Continuing on the subject of the screen, the current one is an evolution of the last year's edition, but it's now brighter by around 15%, which should definitely help both when used in darkness, but also when used in bright light. But you can't go wrong with either of the screens, both are still top of the class. They also both support HDR video, so if you want to watch some high quality Netflix content on the plane, you can definitely do that. When it comes to hardware, as expected, the S9 Plus is an evolution in most areas. The processors are now faster and perform better. There's now 6GB of RAM instead of 4GB, which lets the phone perform slightly better and allows to keep more applications in memory, decreasing load times. What's slightly more practical for travelers is that the storage has increased. The built-in storage has doubled to 128GB, and the maximum SD card capacity, yes, we do still have one, has increased from 256 to 400GB. That could come in handy if you take a lot of photos and videos, or if you'd like to download all 10 seasons of Friends from Netflix to watch them on your holidays. There's unfortunately no change in battery capacity, so we should expect similar battery life on both devices. In theory, the S9 Plus should last longer due to improved and more optimized processor performance, but I haven't noticed a major difference over my 2 weeks of testing. Luckily, there's still quick charge and wireless charging on both devices, no changes there. Where you will see, or rather hear, a difference is sound quality. Both the headphones and speakers are tuned by AKG, which is a brand of Harman who were acquired by Samsung last year. The speakers are now stereo and sound significantly better and louder. The new phone also supports Dolby Atmos, but it's limited to music coming from speakers and wired headphones. If you want to experience Dolby Atmos on wireless headphones, you'll have to use a traditional 3.5-inch cable. But the sheer fact that we still have a headphone jack is great, especially when traveling, in case you lose your headphones and need to get a cheap new set at the airport. Software-wise, there's not much of a difference. The S9 Plus came out with Android 8 Oreo, and the S8 Plus has just been updated to Oreo in most markets, so we shouldn't see a big difference there. This of course assumes that you're a fan of Samsung's TouchWiz software, but since you're this far in this video, I'm guessing you don't mind it. The main difference, as you all know from the Camera Reimagined slogan, is the new camera, or rather cameras. The S8 Plus had a single 12-megapixel rear camera with f1.7 aperture and dual-pixel autofocus. The new one now has two cameras. The additional camera is an f2.4 aperture lens with autofocus, which allows both to zoom in without losing quality and improves the portrait mode, allowing much better depth detection compared to S8 Plus. The main camera has a dual aperture lens, more on it in the unboxing and a future review, which is fantastic both in low light, where it beats practically any camera, but it's also great in bright light. In addition to improved optics, thanks to the new dedicated memory buffer for the camera and an improved processor, it can now shoot better slow motion video. Thanks to it, you can now shoot super slow motion videos, allowing you to shoot 960 frames per second of a video of 0.2 seconds, extending that to 6 seconds, which results in a 32 times slow motion. Just make sure you're shooting in excellent light conditions, since even trying it in seemingly well-lit room will result in unusable footage or even no slow motion at all. The S8 Plus can only shoot 240 frames per second in HD resolution, while the S9 Plus can do the same in higher full HD resolution, which is fantastic. You can expect a separate TTG video on frame rates and how they affect videos soon. There's not much change in the front-facing camera department. Both are great, just check out my photo from our website. So, is the S9 Plus a worthy update to S8 Plus? It depends on what phone you're currently using and what your budget is. If you're on S7 Edge or older, or want to move to a Samsung phone, then it's definitely worth it. However, if you're using the S8 Plus already, it's more difficult to justify the price jump. For me, I've been very happy with it, mostly thanks to the amazing camera, louder speakers, brighter screen and improved performance, and I don't regret it at all. But if you don't mind not having the latest phone and camera in your pocket and expect a great device nonetheless, you might be happy either keeping your S8 Plus or benefiting from recent discounts on that device and upgrading to it instead. If you have any questions about the S9 Plus, leave them in the comments down below and we'll make sure to answer them soon. Thanks for watching Tech Travel Geeks.